Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
He's back right after Trump's pardon. Arpaio just revealed DM's darkest secret. It's been only several days since Trump issued a pardon for Joe Arpaio of Arizona and commuted his sentence of 6 months in prison. That being said, Arpaio is back and now he is telling his own story. Arpaio chose the Associated Press for his first interview to reveal the one thing he has wanted to say since this whole thing started. Sheriff Joe said all the charges against him were false and made for political reasons. Sheriff Joe called the Associated Press and told them of the lawsuits against him. Why are they speaking out right now? I've been sheriff for 24 years. Are they coming out against me because of a biased judge? The point the former sheriff was trying to make was that the cases against him allege the crimes date back decades, however, they were just filed in the last few years. Arpaio also told the AP, "It's all documented, the bias and everything else." At this point, Joe Arpaio is a retired former sheriff guilty of no crimes. It's up to the people to decide now if he did or did not break the law while trying to protect it. Regardless of our own opinion, we got to share this out so everyone can decide for themselves. A judge just exposed the sick thing Obama was doing with illegal immigrants. And Trump ended it. It seems like more and more Obama scandals get uncovered with each passing day. Today is of course no different. A recent Center for Immigration Studies report said that up to 200,000 deportation cases were administratively closed during Obama's presidency. When the cases were administratively closed, the illegal immigrants were essentially free to roam, sometimes indefinitely, with little to no follow-up. These cases and about 600,000 known others are still technically awaiting trial. Immigration Judge Andrew Arthur, who authored the report, said of the huge figure, "My back-of-the-envelope calculations suggest at least 100,000 more are possible, for 200,000 on top of the 600,000 we currently have." President Trump has taken action to end administratively closing cases, and has moved to reschedule cases that were previously closed. As Arthur said, "The good news is that the Trump administration has reversed the practice of administrative closure of cases that are not a priority, and has effectively eliminated prioritization as well, returning prosecutorial discretion to its proper role as a law enforcement tool to be used on a case-by-case basis, not a blanket abdication of authority." Well, can't say I'm surprised, folks. Can you even imagine if Hillary was elected? We would probably never be hearing about any of this stuff because she'd just be continuing Obama's sketchy dealings. The mainstream media isn't going to advertise this one, that's for sure, so we're asking you to share it 10,000 times. H.T. Washington Examiner. Latest report shows President Trump and Melania have something incredible planned for Texas. President Trump will visit Texas Tuesday to evaluate the federal government's response to the Hurricane Harvey disaster that has caused significant flooding in the state. Vice President Mike Pence said in a radio interview on Monday that President Trump, Melania, and cabinet officials would go on the trip. The president has been monitoring the situation closely from the White House and Camp David, and vowed to visit the state at an appropriate time, when he would not be a distraction. The president has also been providing encouragement and praise for the people in Texas weathering the storm. This is the first major natural disaster of the Trump presidency, and by all accounts, he has been handling it well, coordinating closely with state, local, and federal agencies to get relief to the people of Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott praised the president's vigilance during the disaster. "I've got to tell you, I give FEMA a grade of A+, all the way from the president down," Abbott said. "I've spoken to the president several times, to his cabinet members, such as Secretary of Homeland Security, such as the Administrator of FEMA, such as Tom Price, the Secretary of Health and Human Services. As an entrepreneur and CEO, Trump was used to going out into his building sites, inspecting the work, and making sure things were running smoothly on the ground. Now he gets to put those skills to the ultimate test, ensuring the health and safety of the American people. HDCBS. After Hurricane Harvey, Governor Abbott turned to Trump and gave him the gift of a lifetime. During a press conference on Monday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott lavished Trump with praise for his unparalleled response to Hurricane Harvey. Abbott even told reporters that operations had been in planning for a week leading up to the tropical storm striking the coast. According to the Washington Free Beacon, here is what Abbott said about working with Trump. "I've spoken with the president on multiple occasions, with his cabinet members, and I would have to grade the federal government's response as an A+. Abbott then said that he has been in contact with Secretary of Health and Human Services Tom Price and Secretary of Homeland Security Elaine Duke and FEMA Administrator Brock Long. This is, if not the largest, it has to be categorized as one of the largest disasters America has ever faced," Abbott said. "And to see the swift response from the federal government is pretty much unparalleled. Houston is in bad shape. It's only getting worse. The levees are going to have to release some water to relieve pressure. Houston is expecting more rain as well. Share this if you are glad that we have President Trump leading this country. It's way better than Hillary or Obama would have been." OMG, top Democrat just revealed one secret thing about impeaching Trump Dems want hidden. Well, shoot, y'all. It looks like President Trump may have just found himself an actual, honest Democrat, and his name is Senator Chris Murphy. Murphy left his party darn near speechless today when he went on ABC's Face the State and unleashed a bombshell Democrat secret that was supposed to stay hidden. Senator Murphy said Trump has done nothing to be impeached and has kept all of his campaign promises. The alleged reporter decided to ask Murphy if Trump's actions prove he is mentally unfit for office. That's when Murphy broke from the Dems big time. He did win the Electoral College despite this bizarre behavior as a candidate, so you can't impeach somebody for doing what they said they were going to do as a candidate. Whether we like it or not, he is fulfilling all of the very reckless promises he made during the campaign. Wow. A top-level Democrat senator from Connecticut admitting that Trump is keeping his promises and not breaking the law. This is a real anomaly, a true outlier. It's time we as Republicans show we can appreciate some honesty from the left, even if it is just a sliver, by sharing out Murphy's words to all Dems and Republicans out there and show them Trump is working for the people. Top Republican just gave Trump genius plan to stop Mueller dead in his tracks. Donald Trump just got a huge hand from one of the last people anyone would have guessed. Rep. Ron DeSantis just proposed a new amendment that will beat the DM's Russia probing for good. The amendment would force Mueller to conclude his investigation within 180 days. DeSantis's amendment would also stop Mueller from probing anything that occurred before June 2015, when Donald Trump announced that he was running. This makes perfect sense since this is the moment Trump's case technically started. The new amendment will be considered along with the congressional spending package for next year. Of course, the 180 days would start after it was signed into law. However, it will set a precedent to limit the time and resources committed to politically motivated investigations from this point forward. This right here is exactly what it means to drain the swamp, because it will end all that swampy mess politicians have been making for the last few decades. Let's help make Rep. Ron DeSantis' new dream amendment come true by sharing this out so the congressmen see where we the people stand. Trump's latest common sense rule for extreme vetting will have everyone wondering why other presidents didn't do it too. The Department of Homeland Security announced on Monday that they are adding an extra layer of security to the process of getting American visas. This one is so simple you'd wonder why no one else did it before, but President Trump's extreme vetting executive order got it done. The DHS will now begin conducting more in-person interviews with permanent visa candidates, especially those from countries with unstable governments and a higher rate of terror. The interview requirements will begin on October 1st, and will at first apply to refugees who wish to sponsor family members to join them and those already in the U.S. on business visas who wish to become permanent residents. Matthew J. O'Brien, Director of Research at the Federation for American Immigration Reform, told the Washington Times that face-to-face interviews are a crucial way to evaluate an applicant's national security risk. You can only vet people if you have information, and one of the best ways to get information is to talk to people and then compare that info to objective info you get from other places. If you don't have these interviews, you're missing a fundamental step in the vetting process. According to O'Brien, more face-to-face interviews were the norm for American immigration decades ago, but these were phased out when the government decided there wasn't a compelling fraud or security risk. Today, things are different, and President Trump recognizes that. This is a great new step for American security. President Trump specifically asked for more in-person interviews in his call for immigration vetting reform. It is a common sense rule with proven effectiveness for catching fraud and malicious intent. The government isn't normally used to common sense, but it looks like we finally got a guy in charge who is ready to bring it back into fashion. Do you think the president is doing a great job so far? Share it loud and proud, Patriots. HT Washington Times.